Okay, so I'm gonna need you to watch this video right now because I don't want you coming back here after the full moon and commenting, I wish I saw this before the full moon. I wish I saw this before I acted impulsively and did that. I wish I saw, because same. I read those comments and I'm like, me too. I wish you saw it before. These energy readings that I've been doing have made me so much more mindful about the energy that's coming around the new moon and the full moon so that I can be more present and more aware and mindful of my interactions with people and how I'm treating myself, my thought patterns, and everything that's happening in my personal life and also in the collective unconscious. So watch it right now, okay? Don't save it for later. Watch it right now. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel, we talk about spirituality, self-development, the law of attraction, and so much more. And today we have a full moon reading for the full moon in Pisces of September 2021. This is our last water full moon for the year. So it's a really potent time for kind of like an emotional overhaul. Like, let's see what exists beneath the surface and let's let it go. Let's work through it. So today I want to talk to you guys about the overall energy that we're going to be experiencing on this full moon, which is, by the way, on September 20th at 4:54 Pacific Standard Time. You can search what time it is in your place of residence, wherever you call home. However, you will be feeling the energy by the time that I post this video and for the couple of days after the full moon is full. So I just want to get right into the video today. So let's talk about the last full water moon of the year. This is the time for working through our emotions. So the full moon in general brings us a deeper access to our deepest emotions, the things that kind of hide beneath the surface, the things that are deep in the subconscious mind, in our shadow realm. It's these emotions and thoughts that may have been repressed, and the full moon is going to always, every month, really help to bring those to the surface. That's why shadow work is so potent around the full moon, and we're going to talk about that. But especially during this Pisces full moon, this is going to be a super emotional, highly sensitive, kind of weepy full moon. Especially if you have any Pisces placements, like I'm a Pisces rising, and so I'm ready for this. I know I'm going to be feeling it, and I'm excited for this opportunity to see what's lurking beneath the surface and what I'm ready to let go of. So there is this big opportunity and this big theme of letting go with this Pisces full moon. Emotions that you haven't been allowing yourself to feel will make themselves known during this time. And when that happens, I don't want you to run away from it. I don't want you, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming right now, internally and externally in the whole world, a little bit chaotic. Don't run away from your emotions and don't suppress them. Do not drink alcohol during this time if you can help it. Do not do drugs during this time or ever, realistically, if you can help it. This full moon is very potent for lunacy, right? When the moon is kind of making us a little bit crazy. So I would not exacerbate. I hope that I said that word right. I really literally have never said it out loud. The full moon energy through any substances and through hiding from your emotions in any way, like binging TV. You know, you can watch TV obviously, but binging in order to not feel what you're feeling is it's a wasted opportunity. Shopping in order to forget what you're feeling is a wasted opportunity. Just kind of being with your emotions is so important at this time. So don't miss out on this potent opportunity to feel your emotions. Feel it all and know that this full moon is an offering from the universe, from God, for you to finally let go and kind of empty everything that's been happening in the past 6 to 8 months. It's been a lot. It's been a lot for at least 2 years now, but especially in the last 6 to 8 months, and maybe even in the last month, something big has happened for you and it's heavy to carry around, and this is our opportunity to finally let it go. So the way that we're going to let it go, I'm going to talk about 4 to 5 things that we should be doing during this time, but a really good way to let it go is to just feel it. You know, it might be an intense experience. It might feel like you can't even contain these emotions in your body, in your chest. Remember that if you do allow yourself to feel it, no matter how painful it is, on the other side of this full moon, you're gonna come out a lighter, transcended, less dense version of yourself. And that's what we want. Once the moon begins to wane, we wanna feel lighter. And what we also want is not to look back on the full moon and be like, oh my God, why did I do all of that? You know, once the emotions chill out, once you balance out, once society balances out, especially with Libra season incoming, you don't want to look back and be like, ugh, why did I act like that? Why did I act impulsively, right? I don't want you to do that. I don't want to do that. So the way that we're going to do that is by being very mindful of the fact that emotions will be heightened, sensitivity will be heightened. You're going to be sensitive. Everybody's going to be sensitive during this time. It's a sensitive time. Pisces is very sensitive. So navigate your relationships accordingly to that, have grace for your heightened emotions and grace for others. You want people to be forgiving of your maybe outbursts or how you're feeling or your overly emotional state. So you have to be gracious towards them as well, right? So I'm feeling that the Virgo new moon may have started a lot of, I know for myself, this definitely happened. You may have gotten back on track with something. You started your routine again. You cleaned up. You got yourself organized and you're back on track. Please remember, this Pisces new moon might introduce a little bit of chaos and might throw you off balance a little bit, but it's not going to knock you off your feet completely. I want you to remember that motivation is not constant. Motivation ebbs and flows. It goes up and down all the time. So if you feel a little bit unmotivated and you get off track for a couple of days or a couple of hours or, a few moments, just keep going. Your motivation will return. All is not lost. Everyone's going to have that moment where they feel like everything is lost and all the work that they work towards in the beginning of the month might be, for nothing, but that's not true. That is a lie. That is what the ego is trying to tell you. What's really happening is motivation is just an ebb and a flow. It's not a constant, it's a cycle, and it's going to return. So as long as you're still constantly walking towards your goal, walking towards everything that you want, even if you're taking baby steps, you're still on your path and your motivation will return and you're going to start running full speed towards your goals. So don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Your motivation is going to return. So there's going to still be this dance, especially during this time around the 20th, between wanting to get your life together and get things done, and also feeling really sleepy and tired and dreamy and just wanting to retreat and do nothing. That's okay. Dance with it, ride the ebbs and flows rather than fighting against it. Moments of the day you might be super spaced out and transient and not focused. That's fine. Be compassionate with yourself. The moments of clarity and attention and focus are coming, so just allow for that. There's also something to look forward to. Libra season is going to be balancing things out for us on an individual level and on a societal level. We're hoping for that. We're hoping for a little bit of more of justice to come in. People might come and apologize to you, or you might feel like you need to apologize to somebody for something that a tightly held belief that you've had for a while turns out to maybe not have been true. So you might have to apologize to somebody, or somebody's going to apologize to you. If something has happened, if some sort of conflict has happened to you in the past month, you might see it be taken care of, be balanced out, be fixed. We're going to receive apologies where we deserve them. It's a really good time to make apologies as well. I have Yom Kippur the day that you guys are watching this, so I won't actually be online, but this is a day for me to be making apologies, to ask God for forgiveness. And during this full moon, it's actually a really potent time to be talking to the divine, which I'll talk about, and ask for forgiveness for yourself, for other people. God is all loving and all forgiving. You're always forgiven. Okay, so now I have 5 things I want to talk about to how to navigate this full moon in Pisces more gracefully. The first one, and how to use it to our advantage, of course, to our benefit. The first one is to practice dream work during this time. So Pisces is dreamy. It's the dreams. It's ruled by Neptune. It's that other part of our mind. You're going to be tired during this time for a reason. There's work to be done on the astral plane. So naps are your best friend, but also it's really important to prioritize your sleep. From when you watch this video, it's going up on a Thursday until at least the Tuesday after the full moon. It's really important to prioritize your sleep and to allow the subconscious mind to work through things that you may have been repressing. Lots of dream work during this time. So repressed emotions are going to show up in your dreams. You're going to feel things that you haven't consciously allowed yourself to feel in the past. So I really recommend leaving a dream journal by your nightstand. And then when you wake up, don't try to remember your dreams. Simply grab your journal and start to write down whatever comes to you. Words, symbols, colors, emotions. Write these things and then write about how you feel about them. This is really powerful work during this time. Your intuition is heightened. You're going to have these intuitive psychic dreams. Write them down and then revisit them in the future. Now, this is really important. I don't want you to act out on your dreams or act out on your intuition during this time. Even though your intuition is going to be heightened, because it's such a sensitive time, it's not the right time. So let's say, and I've said this in the past before around Pisces, around this watery full moons, it's important to write down what you feel intuitively and to analyze it, to look at what's happening, but not to act out on it until the moon is waning and emotions have calmed down. You want a more benevolent energy and maybe even a more neutralized energy when you're going to work through things based on your intuitions. So write everything down, all your intuition, and then analyze it. Just really be self-reflective and act on it later on if you feel like you need to, okay? So that brings me into the second one, which is shadow work and self-reflection. The full moon is always a good time to do shadow work. This is a time when emotions are heightened, but this one is especially good. As I was saying, Pisces is sensitive, emotional. Emotions will be even higher than usual. So we have easier access to understanding our emotions, to feeling them. So I really recommend not projecting these emotions onto others during this time, not taking them out on anybody else, but rather really doing some self-analysis and some self-reflection. And you can do shadow work in whatever way you know how to. I recommend journaling, talking to somebody, hitting a pillow, crying to your cat. That's fine. Maybe your dog might be more sympathetic to your tears. I don't know. Take a workshop if you feel like that's what's right. In fact, I'm going to give a discount to the first 100 people who want to take my full moon shadow work ceremony. You have access to it for a lifetime. You can do it every single full moon. And I'm going to discount it for you for the first 100 people who want to grab it today. So the link will be in the description below. It's going to walk you through everything. There's a chakra healing in there. There's a full moon ceremony. There's a bunch of cool stuff, and that will really help you to see what exists in your shadow realm right now and what needs to be integrated. So if you want to grab that, I'll link it down below for you. I just thought about doing that right now. You're supported in letting go during this time. So there's this opportunity for serious emotional release, letting go of things that you've been carrying for a long time now, at least for the past month. I would say for the past 6 to 8 months. All right. The third thing that I want to mention is to make time and space for yourself during this time. Okay. So I myself am taking a social media break from today until the Tuesday after the full moon. If you're super empathic and super sensitive like I am, social media is going to be super chaotic during this time. So it might not be inducive and good for your healing, for your transcendence, and for your growth to be on social media during this time. I recommend turning the phone off if possible, if you can, for 4 to 5 days. I know this is a crazy ask. I know this is insane. Maybe you just do the weekend. Maybe you just do the day of the full moon. But this is going to be really good for your healing, for your mental health. I want you to also stick to your boundaries during this time, okay? It's time for self-care. It's okay to retreat, be away from people until you feel like yourself again. That's fine, okay? Honestly, I usually retreat around full moons because I tend to be so affected by the energy that I don't want to take it out on other people. So I kind of just use that time for myself. So the fourth thing that I want to mention is a little bit of a warning. Like I always do, just a public service announcement. During this time, don't believe the stories that you might be making up in your head. So Neptune kind of rules the imagination. So we can be very imaginative right now. We could also be very confused, a lot of confusion going on. So making up stories in your head is commonplace for Pisces. As a Pisces rising, I can attest to that. And I know that all my Pisces best friends would say the same. It's not a good time to do that. definitely not a good time to do that. And if you are doing that, it's not a good time to act out on it, okay? So your intuition might be a little bit clouded by spaciness and by this heightened sensitivity. So continue to bring yourself back to loving, compassionate communication. Keep checking in with yourself. See if you're acting through the heart, through the ego, through fear. What are you speaking through? Are you being defensive? Are you creating stories up in your mind? And the fifth thing I think is the most important during this time is something I mentioned earlier. It's to connect to the divine. The connection to the higher realms is super potent and open right now. And if you fix your gaze on the 5D, on the spiritual, on the infinitely creative and loving energy that exists in the higher realms, you can align to that energy right now. Talk to God if you talk to God. Pray if you pray. Commune with your guides. Consult the decks, your oracle, your tarot cards. Talk to your spirit guides, right? Do divination. This is a time for spirituality. It's a potent time for spirituality, to really connect with that higher aspect of yourself. Your higher self is there and it's ready to guide you. So this is a time to ask questions and to really look out for the signs, the symbolism. I'll be praying a lot during this time. I have, a conversation with God where I speak to God like God is my father, right? God is my dad. God is also the mother, of course, right? So it's whatever you feel comfortable with right now. Putting your sights on the divine rather than the three-dimensional will be really beneficial for you right now. It's going to bring you some sort of surprise, some sort of gift, something unexpected, some sort of insight or a new idea or a new direction or an understanding of yourself or what's going on in your life. So it's going to be a really dreamy time. So I recommend spending time off your phone and in nature if possible, doing something, maybe do something creative. It's a really good time for creative energy. Channel all those emotions that you're feeling into creative work that gets you into flow. Get dreamy, romantic, flowy, light candles, paint, do some yin yoga. Let yourself be really watery during this time. So that is my energy reading for this full moon in Pisces, September 20th, 4:54 Pacific Standard Time. I want to know what you're going to be doing during this time and what insights you may have gotten through this reading. If it helped you in any way, your comments really, really help the channel and they help me to gauge what you want more of, what you like. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Please leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you've watched all the way till the end and you haven't subscribed yet. It's time to become a part of the B community, I think. I love you. Thanks for spending time with me. And until next time, as always, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.